Welcome to another episode of Last Week Comics Today. I've got a decent stack here, and I don't know. Normally, I go into this with more of a plan of what I was going to say. I don't think I have much to say other than some are good and some are bad. I will very likely ramble, as I normally do. But we are going to start this week with Bug Wars issue 1. And this is the new Jason Aaron, Mahmoud Asrar miniseries, although there's indications, let's jump right to the back here, that it will continue in some fashion, because, where is it? It says book 1, Lost in the Yard. If you're going to start numbering something with 1, that to me indicates that you're going to continue numbering. So, this is excellent, and I hope that it does continue. I've already signed up for issues 2 and 3. It's excellent. It's really well written. Art's incredible. Let's see. I'll show you some of the bug stuff. This is basically R-rated Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it is incredible. So you see right there some of the language that's going on. But there are, what I've been able to piece together and what is explained at the back as well, there are these things called mites, which are these kind of humanoid bugs, but there are also bugs. And so, in this sequence, there are beetles versus ants, is what's going on here. And there's talk of a death storm coming. It's sort of a local legend, and some people don't even believe it. And then the death storm actually shows up, and it's wild. This book is crazy. But then, for the middle sequence, there's the death storm in action. So, for the middle sequence, there's actually a bunch of human characters. So we follow these people, and their history, specifically with this house. I like that spider. I didn't notice the spider the first time. That's pretty cool. But there's this whole middle sequence about the family. There's some of this going on. And their history with this house and what is going on with them in relation to bugs. And it's fascinating. I am loving how this starts. And then some stuff happens. And again, R-rated Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Excellent writing, art. Highly recommended. Transformers 17. I accidentally bent the cover at some point. Also great issue. We've got, as seen here on the cover, we've got Thundercracker going after Skywarp, who has been integrated into the arc. What I would like to see, because Thundercracker says that he's going to help the Skywarp. Skywarp actually says, "Don't disconnect me, I would die," and Thundercracker's like, "I'm gonna do something." And so my brain leaps to, what would Danny Warren Johnson do? And the answer, in my opinion, is the craziest thing. So I'm thinking, this is where my mind's at. Somehow, the Skywarp is going to take over the arc, possibly transform as well, which would be just wild. Anyway, this subplot I'm very interested in. I especially enjoyed, I think it was last issue, when Thundercracker turned on Starscream. Just everything that's happening with the Seekers, I'm loving it. We've also got, is it, no, it's Beachcomber. I thought Trailblazer was in here somewhere, but no, I guess not. It's RC Beachcomber and a couple of humans going after Ultra Magnus, who has built this thing. And he is still mentally not all there. But then there's also stuff happening on Cybertron. So we've got this speech that's going on with Alita and Alita's forces and their thought process on all of this stuff happening. But I think I'm about to turn the page. Here we go. Here we go. So it's more Devastator versus Bruticus, and I'm loving every second of this. But we've got... now they are fighting their way through Seattle, and it's just gorgeous and incredible and devastating. And this really needs to be reflected in the G.I. Joe book, and it still has not been. It upsets me every time I think about the connectedness of this maybe supposedly connected universe. But also, Cliffjumper has had this jar of partial sparks, and he throws it into a machine with some parts as well, and then a new character shows up. A genuinely new character shows up at the end of this, and that was cool too. Maybe that's where I was thinking Trail. Anyway, great issue, loving it. Our story, again, top notch, recommended. Bug Wars was the first of 3 first issues this week. Mine is A Long Lonesome Grave is the second, and here we've got railroad spikes through a skull, which actually does happen this issue. And this is mostly a crime story, I will say, hesitantly, with kind of an asterisk. But there's a guy who gets out of prison, starting on page 2, and he returns home. There's this comment about 20 years, so he has been away. He has a picture of a family here, and so the daughter has absolutely grown up. He's got kind of a Picasso-ish look going on. Anyway, so he returns home. People don't want him there, and he's like, look, I know I'm not wanted here. I'm just gonna come home, do this thing, and then leave. And so he John Wicks up this box, but there are references to some magic stuff going on. So there is a mild, thus far, supernatural element that I think will come more into play as the story develops. But there is the daughter grown up. I this time didn't notice that she has some tattoos on her leg. So the father gives the daughter this sack of money, and she's like, that's great. I'm taking off. I don't care at all about you. And then we get this wall of faces. And so there's a comment I'm going to make about one of these. Oh, it's actually the next book. Everyone in the Hive is kind of an asshole. And everyone here is also kind of an asshole. I read this one before I read this one, so I already had that thought in my brain. But here everyone is kind of, they're kind of an asshole, at least to each other. And it's more compelling than what I'm about to say about the Hive. And I can't quite explain the difference other than I'm interested in seeing where this goes, and I am not interested in seeing where this goes. But I will get to that in a minute. So, Justin Jordan. What did I say earlier? Hopefully I said the correct name. Justin Jordan. I like his stories. This is a miniseries, and I think I'm going to sign up for the whole thing, because it's off to a great start. And here is this poor kid. So there's definitely, there's a crime element, there's some supernatural stuff going on, and I want to see where this goes. If that's something that you're interested in, I recommend this as well. What I have been alluding to is I do not recommend this, which is an absolute mess of a story. Everyone is an asshole, as I was just saying about the previous book, and additionally, it's just so underdeveloped as a story, as a series of characters, and even plot-wise. Like, everything is undercooked. I don't know how this got published. I think, have some comments for the editor, whoever was the editor on this, but this is half-baked. The art's great. I will follow this artist to whatever they do next, but this is an absolute mess. There is something crime-related going on here as well. There's also a lot of bee references and hives and queens, and like none of it is explained well enough. But there's a couple of characters that have this ability where they change font bubbles, and whoever is listening will follow those commands, and so they use that to try and steal from an armored truck, and then the armored truck doesn't have money in it, and it's just there's something going on, and that opening sequence takes place in the present, and then it jumps back 3 months, and we see how things develop, only we don't really see how anything develops, because again, the characters are undeveloped, the plot itself is underdeveloped, and just, this is a mess. Avoid this like the plague. avoid this like a hive of wasps, maybe? I don't know. Avoid this. It's terrible. Standstill, issue 7. I really enjoyed the, I'm going to say, first half of Standstill. And this second half, I'm confused. It seems to be running in place. Nothing really seems to be happening. And I would like this to end well. So there's only one issue left. This is issue 7 of 8. I'm very confused how this is going to end, how things are going to be wrapped up. But also, like, I've just been waiting for it to wrap up because it seems like things have been in place for a while. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I don't know. The Moon is Following Us, issue 6. So this is the start of the second arc, the final arc. And a lot happened in the previous issue as far as our main characters, the parents of this daughter who is uncontrollably asleep. And this guy, Pigface, and this guy, the sort of garden gnome mage, I don't remember his name. But the parents are really in some trouble. They got stabbed in the back, and now they're being helped by some nightmares. There's a lot of mental stuff going on, which I have not explained, and I don't think I will hear anymore. But because I want you to read it, it's excellent and highly emotional, and it's just fantastic. But the parents are starting to get a sense that they've been lied to from the beginning. It's not just a sense, but it's literal. Just great stuff. Anyway, so they're getting new weapons, and the father at this point is wielding a car seat, like a shield, and then the mother gets a weapon as well, and it's like almost straight out of what was I thinking? Shaolin Cowboy. It's she stabs this shark and then rips the shark in half and then is just wielding a shark torso like an axe. This book is wild. The story is amazing. The art's incredible. And then the emotional aspects, like how it hammers you. Just perfection. I love it. Highly recommend it. I've already said that I will get the eventual hardcover of this, assuming that they make a hardcover, which I hope they do. But I'm all in on this. It's incredible, top to bottom. I'm now seeing that there's cat hair that's been in the shot the whole time. But I gotta clean this off. The cats have just been shedding all over the place. And like, it's winter. You shouldn't be shedding right now. Anyway, Absolute Batman, issue 5. This is 5 of 6 of the opening arc of the zoo, and Batman does something that I'm going to say is stupid, but also I kind of get it. So I've been saying honestly for a while that Batman is kind of an idiot in various media. He's supposed to be smart, and this time he does something. I don't like this panel right there. Just how thick and long the neck is versus the head itself, that skull. That disturbs me in a way that I can't fully put into words. But Batman has a meeting with Black Mask. He took an offer and received $200 million. And with it, he makes a fat Batman logo, which is just dumb as hell. And then he burns the money. Like, I kind of this is what I get. And a bunch of other stuff happens as well, but this is where I'm going to spend the bulk of my personal opinion. Batman in this is young. He's not the main universe Batman. But I remember being young and like, you know, screwing myself over in order to screw over someone else even more. Like that there's like a burning desire. There's a kind of level of hatred, and there's underneath that is this sense of justice. And so he takes Black Mask's money and then instead of doing something useful with it, just burns it. And I'm like, this is so stupid, yet I also understand it in this twisted way. It's good. I mean, the whole series has been good. Where's this incredible panel? Oh, there's this guy who unfortunately jumps onto Batman's back. Batman, whose back is full of spikes, is seen there, which are actually kind of small. But Batman just erupts those spikes. And then for a while he's hanging out there because he's stuck. It's so messed up. And then they net Batman, and the end of this is pretty wild. I don't know where it's going. I don't know how Batman can succeed based on what happens and who he has screwed over, and I don't know. I'm super curious to see where next issue goes, and obviously after that as well, there's a 2-issue 7 and 8 are a 2-issue Mr. Freeze and Joker arc. I'm very curious about that as well, but this is excellent. I am certain... There's some shoulder spikes. I'm certain this will be collected as well pretty soon, and if you have not been following, I recommend grabbing that, because this book is great. Also, there has a collection for the first arc of Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, which is a great series, and I'm not going to do a series... I mean, just look at this art. I can't even fully... Oh my god. It's incredible. Art story. It's basically this weird afterlife of different cultures and time periods, and there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on, and there's kind of these zombie things that attack, but that's not even like the main villain, because it's sort of like Walking Dead, and the real villain is other people, and it's great. There is a love story buried within this Western Asian character, but there's other nationalities, and it's great. Highly recommend it. You can check out my previous videos on the single issues, but I picked this up at the comic shop as well. I picked all of these up from the comic shop, but a couple things came in the mail as well. So this was the mysterious shipment from last week that I was mentioning. This is a Kickstarter, and it's, I think, 500 pages. This is going to take a while to get through. So I will, I'm sure, do a video on this at some point, but not anytime soon, because this actually did show up as well. I have Black Sign somewhere, volume 3. So I have started reading this, and the book is wild. It's just, it's so good. And I believe Matteo Scalera is improving, like, visibly as the series goes on. I enjoyed him at the start of it, even before he was working on Black Science. I was a fan of his work, and just throughout this, I think 7 years, I want to say, that the series went for him, you can just see how much he's improving. And then since this, the stuff that he's done since then. So, Black Science, off camera, off to the side. I'm looking at it. I'm working my way through this. I should be doing a video on that as soon as it's done. But that's everything that I got this week. And as far as pick of the week, it is really simple. It is Bug Wars. It is head and shoulders above everything else. But like, Bug Wars is great. Absolute Batman is interesting. Moon's following us is great. Standstill, I don't know. Don't enjoy it as much as I used to, which is unfortunate. The Hive is straight up terrible. Don't recommend that. Mine, and then Transformers as well. So, Bug Wars, pick of the week. Highly recommended, once again. So, I've already said it, but I got all of these from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Hopefully this continues to work, because that is put together by Diamond. I hope somebody picks that up. Somebody maintains it. But yeah, Diamond runs that website, and they are clearly in some financial trouble. So, use it while you can. Buy some comics. And thanks for watching.